Today we're going to be learning about powers and exponents. Powers can be multiplied to find a product. A number using exponents is known as a power. The big number at the bottom is called the base. The little number, which is usually in the upper right-hand corner of the base, is called the exponent. The exponent is how many times you multiply the base by itself to get the product. We would read this as 6 to the power of 3, or 6 to the third power. All this means is you would simply multiply 6 by 6 by 6. 6 by itself 3 times. This is the expanded form of 6 to the power of 3. This is the standard form, as you would normally see it written. 6 to the power of 3, or you could write that read it as 6 to the third power. When you see a number written as a power, or we call this in exponential form, you can write it in expanded form. To multiply out 10 to the power of 2, you would just simply write 10 times 10. 10 times itself 2 times. The common mistake is to call that 20. But 10 times 10 is not 20, it is 100. You would read this as 5 to the 7th power. You would write that out in expanded form as 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. I want to make sure you have it 7 times. 5 times itself 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need one more. Times 5. That is 5 to the 7th power. Now that's going to give me a really big number. A common mistake is to take the power in the base and multiply them. But remember, this is not 5 times 7. This is 5 to the power of 7. Numbers written as a power are usually really big numbers. It's a way to write really big numbers. So to find this 5 to the 7th power, I would do 5 times 5, which is 25. 25 times 5 is 125. Times 5, 125 times 5 will give me 625. 625 times 5 is going to give me a really large number. I'm getting to big numbers now, 3,125. And then I have 3,125. And here's the point where I would probably start writing it out. You may need to write out the numbers a little earlier. For our purposes here, I'm going to go ahead and use a calculator. So I got to here 5 times 5 is 25, times 5 is 125, times 5 is 625, 625 times 5 is 3,125. I'm still not finished. Now I'm going to use a calculator. Times 5 equals 15,625, and I'm still not finished. I would then multiply that by one more set of 5 times 5, and you can see this gives me a really big number of 78,125. So it looks like a little number, but 5 to the 7th power is a really large value. 9 to the 4th power. Why don't you try that one? Pause the video, try writing out 9 to the 4th power in expanded form, and then figure out what that value actually is. Then unpause the video and we'll check our work. So 9 to the 4th power can be written out as 9 times 9 times 9 times 9. Let's check your work. Go for the calculator when you really need it. We know that 9 times 9 is 81. Now you could use a calculator. 81 times 9 equals 729. And now I do 729 times that last 9 times 9. That answer would be 6,561. How'd you do? Very good. Let's try one more Pause the video again and try figuring out 2 to the 5th power. Write it in expanded form, then figure out the value. Unpause the video when you're finished. To find 2 to the 5th power, we're going to write out 2 multiplied by itself 5 times. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can probably handle this one without a calculator. I hope you did. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16, times 2, and that should give you 32. How'd you do on that one? Let's look at a few other examples of powers and exponents. There are